Earlier, political parties expressed mixed feelings regarding the conduct of the local government elections in the state. Well, they also cited the absence of some political parties as reason for the low turnout of voters. Meanwhile, police have confirmed the explosion at Rivers State Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress in Port Harcourt. But despite the incident and protests in some parts of the state, some persons still showed up to vote. We have more in this report.
These are police checkpoints, but there was not a single officer in sight. Materials arrived at about 9:30 a.m. at the majority of the various polling units monitored, and voters exercised their right to vote. Despite the smooth operation of the units under observation, there was a low voter turnout.
We arrived at the polling units, at about after 9. I may not precisely said exact time, but it's after 9, maybe 17 minutes after 9. When we arrived there, a lot of people are there waiting for us to exercise their franchise, and we paced the people, the accredited voters, names. They checked their names are there. We fixed in the place in order, I and my other colleagues, and everything went well. We finished the election by around 12:45. We are done, and people are still coming. Because we are done, we started our counting and take picture. Even the Royal Highness of Rokwaku came and met us there.
Some political party candidates had a mixed bag reaction concerning the way the process was conducted.
They have done a great job. The research led by retired Justice Elebene, I give him kudos. At least, should I say 90%, and this is a welcome mark.
I was called them very poor. They didn't do their due diligence. I understand that some interested party brought their brothers and sisters, and that the people that research are using in their various polling units. You know, the agent is the research person conducting the voting and everything. So, just like I was telling my supporters, how can cockroach be declared innocent in the presence of chicken?
It is also believed that a few political parties' absence from the polls would have a big impact on the election's results.
The turnout was very, very poor. People didn't turn out for the election. Like in my ward, in my unit that we usually record about 2,000 persons. But I was surprised that we were not up to 500 that came to vote. But I will not also be surprised when the results will be out. You will see them putting about 2,000 persons. I'm not surprised, based on what I have seen today.
It's not going to affect anything. As you can see, most of us are there. We just rounded up now. And it's not going to affect anything.
Joseph Kunde, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
It was not a surprise to many persons waking up on election day to news of an attack. Yet again, the APC is a victim of the controversial build-up to the council poll. The police say the assailants deployed improvised explosive devices here and at the Obiakpo Council Secretariat.
Go around and see the level of the devastation that happened here. Now, what is the question I'll ask? What is the relationship between APC state office and the election they say they're holding, illegal election?
As the day progressed, attention shifted to some polling units in Port Harcourt, Obiakpo local government, and other areas where voting was taking place.
We believe that the election will be very peaceful across the 319 wards in Rivers State, and the winners will be announced by the grace of God. So Orisek has not done any error.
As voting continued, leaders and supporters of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress were protesting, repeating their demand for the suspension of the election.
If there is no PDP in Rivers State, is there any election? No, no PDP. No PDP. No election is taking place. We want to assure you that for us, in the People's Democratic Party, and indeed members of opposition will continue to be law-abiding.
As opposition to the election gains momentum, one of the main contenders say it was a good day.
We have noticed for the very first time, and I think that all politicians should take note of it. It's something that gives us credit that we could be matured enough, civilized enough, cultured enough to do our elections without the presence of police. And the other person, again, I need to thank for providing an enabling environment is the governor, even though his party was not in the ballot box. But at least he's still going extra mile as a leader, a true leader that he is, to provide a level playing field for all those parties who are contesting the election.
Despite the few incidents of violence in some areas, participating political parties say the election was largely peaceful across the state. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.